guys, we're going to Hong Kong and it's light traffic, but it's only 4 and
these are some of the graffiti left behind during the last protest. Other than that though, it seems like everything is back to normal business. Well, as far as we can tell as tourists. Of course, we are not experts on this. So we're just saying at least all the shops that we passed by are open and operational. So this is what we are trying to avoid, the long line for the tickets. This is Disneyland Hong Kong. There are some Christmas decorations already up on display. Oh. So it's now 10 minutes till 9. We've practically closed out the entire park and there's only a few of us left here at the terminal for the MRT going back to the city. We had a full day today at the Hong Kong Disneyland Resort and had a great time. All of the rides were open. There were a few cafes that were closed, but the rest of the rides were operational. It took us on average about 5 to 10 minutes of waiting. The only ride that took longer was the Iron Man ride. That took us about 15 minutes to wait, but as for the rest, we just really had a great time. Book our tickets via book. Actually, we booked this on the same day, a few minutes before we actually got here, because we weren't sure whether the cable car is open because of the situation here in Hong Kong. Hold it right there. Let me just explain that before we left the hotel, we made sure that we always checked online whether there are changes on the schedule of operations for the attractions. Kasi sometimes things just change immediately, parang sudden changes happens. So we all still hesitated on buying our tickets before leaving the hotel. We waited right up until we were at the actual site before we made a purchase. So magaling lang kasi Klook was able to provide us with the instant confirmation. So we're on our way to back to our hotel in Hong Kong. In the Chim Sa Tsui area on Saturday evening, the night before their election. So we were told that everyone is trying to rush home because the MTR is going to be closing earlier than usual. For that evening, the MTR is going to close at 10 p.m. instead of their usual 11 or even 12 midnight. That's because all other forms of transportation may be a challenge to take. So MTR still remains to be their most efficient and most reliable. So right now we're on our way to Ocean Park. So today is the local election day, but it shows here that the train service and all MTR lines for today will close again earlier than usual, right? Need to make sure that whenever you go out, you take note first of the changes in the operation hours of like the MTR. So such as this, there are certain lines that are currently closed, so that means that the trains are not running through, they are not going to be stopping at that station, so you may have to take an alternate route to be able to get to your destination. So you just have to be observant about this thing so you can make adjustments. That's it. We're back at the Chim Sa Tsui area along the Nathan Road. This is on Monday, November 25, one day after the recently concluded Hong Kong local elections. So it seems like things are back to normal. All of the shops that we pass by are all open, and the streets are as busy as what we have known in the past. There are also a lot of people walking around, so it seems like things are okay and back to normal, I guess. We are now on board the Airport Express, going to the airport.
Going back to the Philippines.
And here we are. We've arrived at the airport after roughly around 30 minutes. We are now here at Terminal 1, prepared to board for our flight back to the Philippines. There is a check for the passports and the boarding pass to make sure that only passengers are able to access the airport. We are finally checked in at the airport, Hong Kong airport, and now we're heading to where we can temporarily rest while we wait for our flight home. We fly in about an hour and a half from now, so we still have some time to go around, check out some shops here, and probably grab something to eat or a cup of coffee. Hey Philippines!
We're back.
We're happy to be back! Hey guys! Sorry I'm doing a voiceover for my outro. We arrived late in the evening and it's now almost 1 a.m. and I'm also about ready to fall asleep. I just wanted to put out a disclaimer that this video is not meant to provide any political analysis on the Hong Kong situation. There's no way I'm claiming expertise or full knowledge on their issues. This video is just meant to share our observations and experiences as tourists. Yes, we arrived at a rather tense situation, especially with barely 48 hours after the clashes that took place in several universities. We've gotten to the point of seriously considering canceling or postponing this trip because of the escalated situation. It was just up to a few hours before our flight that we then decided to push through, since we've planned for this trip way back in April. So, as a matter of fact, my mother, who is in her 70s, opted to no longer push or join us in this trip. We are grateful that there was no major or any untoward incident that happened while we were there. We had an enjoyable and peaceful time in Hong Kong. So I'll share some tips based on our experience. First up, make sure to choose tickets and hotels with free cancellation or very minimal booking fee. So should you decide to not push through, you won't have to worry about the money that you've spent for this. For us, travel insurance came in as a big sigh of relief. Big items like airfare and hotel booking and hospitalization are the major items we considered for this. Number two, make sure to also constantly check official web page or Facebook pages of the sites and the tourist attractions that you plan to visit. Always keep an eye out for any public advisories for changes. Just like the advisories that we have shown you while at the entrance of the MTR stations, it's good to make sure that you take time to read them. Those are public advisories that are being flashed at the MTR station, so keep an eye out on those. Third would be to maximize Klook's instant confirmation. Again, this let me just put it out there as a disclaimer. This is not a sponsored video, but I'd like to give out my appreciation to Klook. I mean, we delayed purchasing our tickets to sites and attractions until we were at the gates just to ensure that we weren't wasting our time and money after booking, only to then find out that the particular attraction wasn't available for that day. And this type of things tend to happen, especially given the situation is unpredictable. So, thanks to Klook, at least we didn't have to worry about those things. So, finally, have a good time but stay vigilant. As with any trip naman lagi, it's always great to have a good time, but make sure to always be, ingat-ingat pa rin. Make sure to observe your surroundings. Make sure to always be aware wherever you are para rin. It will be for your own benefit. So, well, with that, I hope you picked up some tips that could help you on your travel to Hong Kong. I hope I've shared something that is of value for you that you could also use while you are in Hong Kong. So, have a safe trip, enjoy, and have fun. Share your best travel tip in the comment section below. And lastly, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Bye. See you on the next video.